Fishing for pleasure, fishing for pike. Out on the water, the morning feels right. Casting my line in the soft daylight. Fishing for pleasure.
Well, good morning troops. As you can see, miles of bank behind me, miles of bank in front of me. We're out for the first proper pike session of the season. We had two short sessions, produced one pike. Oh, I've got a bite. That's what I like. Nice quick start. 5 minutes. It's not huge, but we're off the mark. So Jack, before I was so rudely interrupted, we're off the mark. Jack took half a roach, and it was a big half of a roach as well. The place. Yeah. Right. One treble in. Still very lively. No pike were hurt in the making of this film. Pike police would be out in force. There we go, look at that. Straight away, a jack, half a roach, and there's a big roach. You know, it's a 6-7 inch roach cut in half. So there's a big chunk of roach there. And it's wolfed that down, static dead on the bottom. We're off and running. I love it, I really do. Look at that. Let's get it back. Always a good boost to the confidence, isn't it, when you get a pike first thing. I say I was in a rush to get my rods out, to be honest. I arrived here when it was dark, and I was going to try a different bank, opposite side of the drain, but parking wise it's a bit iffy in the dark, so I didn't want to risk it. So I've come over to this, so I came over to my normal side, and I was a bit behind, so I thought, well, I'll get my rods out ASAP. So I set my stop knots at 16 foot, 15-16 foot ballpark, not exact, just set them around 15-16 foot and just flicked them all three out. That middle rod that went, that was the second rod to go out, so I reckon that's been out there about, it's more than 5 minutes, so I reckon about 15-20. And yeah, we've had a bit of success, so haven't even had time to plumb it up exact yet. As the day progresses, I'll do one rod at a time, set them perfect how I like them, depth wise. I think it's going to be another hot sunny day, so nice to get a couple of fish under my belt before it gets too hot and bright. The sun will be up soon, which will make filming from this bank very difficult. It's in your eyes, you know, in your face from 7 o'clock to about 10 this time of year. But that's how you do your piking, isn't it, eh? So that was a half a roach on static dead bait. I don't weigh pike that size. It's not arrogance, it's not nothing. They're great fish. I love catching every single one of them. But I normally only weigh them, if, you know, from mid doubles up. Because sometimes a mid double looks like a 20. And you think, oh, is it? And you see weigh it and it turns out it isn't. And other times 20s look like mid doubles. Can be very, all depending on the length and the depth and the girth of the fish, you know, it can be a bit hit and miss. You know when you've got something 20 plus, you just know. But sometimes then mid doubles from say like 15 up to 20, they can all be much of a muchness size wise, you know, some are a bit longer, some are a bit deeper, some are a bit wider, so you know, that's when I tend to weigh them. We're off the mark. I was just about thinking about having a cup of coffee. I left the house without any breakfast this morning. I normally have breakfast before I leave, but today I fancied an extra half hour in bed, so I forwent the normal 3 cups of coffee before I left the house. So I'm going to have one now and sit back and enjoy myself, because we're up and running, we're off the mark, we ain't blanked. It's the monkey off the back straight away, but we're in the hunt for 30s, 20s and 30s on here. This is a big water with some big fish, so that's what we're after. Big pike on a bonus big zander. Let's catch some fish. Oh well, it's been a long, hard, grueling day. Sat under the umbrella for hours. Rain wasn't predicted, but it's kept the temperatures down. Light levels are low. You think set there for a good day. But the middle level, it can be a hard taskmaster. It can really grind you down sometimes. I always find when I'm on here, there's 2 distinct feeding spells for me whenever I've fished it. Morning, there's an afternoon one. So I'm hoping there, the afternoon one, some pike move in. The whole day, well, so we had an instant hit, but the whole day there's been nothing. No sign of life, no activity, absolutely nothing. So it's one of those, I'm hoping for the afternoon feeding spell. Of course, the longer the winter goes on, the shorter that window becomes, because obviously daylight hours are reducing fast. Once again, I've been casting every half hour, as I always do on a river or drain. Keep the bait moving in, keep that splash in the water. You never know. I mean, you could be 2 foot out from your previous cast and you could put the bait right on the pike's nose. But yeah, so it's going to be a long winter campaign on here. I'm going to be doing a lot of sessions on here, and the reason is I know it holds 20s and I know it holds 30s. So it's going to be a winter in search of 30s. It really is. I want a 30 out of here, and I want a double figured zander. Both are doable on here. Are they easy? Of course they're not. If it was easy, everyone would have a £30 pike under their belt and a double figure zander under your belt. Now I've been predator fishing for over 40 years. Over 45, nearly 50. I mean, well, yeah, 50 years. You know, 59 now. Started piking when I was 8 or 9, so I've been predator fishing 50 years, and I've only had 230s in that time, and I'm stuck on a 9-pound 12-ounce zander, and I've been stuck on that for a long time. So this campaign is this year I'm going to really put some time and effort in here. Hope the weather holds for me this winter, because the middle level is basically an open drain, really is, and it's for the whole catchment area. Everything from Levels Lean down at Ramsey, 20 foot at March and Whittlesea, every watercourse is managed by pumping stations and sluices and culverts, and everything runs into here. So if you get a really wet winter, this is running off, it's virtually impossible to fish. So I'm hoping that we don't get too many big westerlies and big storms crashing in and ruining the sport. But that's the aim of the channel this autumn, is to put in some effort on here, get ourselves some 20s and 30s. That's what we want. We want the 30. And also this year I'm going to try and get a 20 out of every venue I fish. So I might cut them down a bit, be very selective with my venues, but I've also got another video planned shortly, whereas my drive home from work, I with a slight detour. It normally takes me an hour and 10 minutes to drive home from work. If I do a slight detour, an hour and 35 minutes, I cross over 8 drains on the way home from work. So an up and coming video is going to be my 8 drain challenge. I'm going to try in one day to visit each venue and catch a pike. As soon as I get a pike out of one, bosh, on to the next, bosh, 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 bosh. That can even go 2 ways, can't it? You can sit on the first venue for 8 hours and not get a run, and it is dark, so that'll be the day over. But that's the challenge, the 8 drain challenge. I'm going to try that. Hopefully I'll get it first go, but if not, I'll give it a few goes. So that's something to look forward to. And then, as I say, mostly it's going to be in the hunt for big fish this year. Don't get me wrong, I'm happy catching anything, but definitely want a 20 out of here. Oh, I have 20s out of here every year, but I want a big 20 or 30 out of here. Big 20 or 30 out of Witham. Big 20 or 30 out of the Old Bedford. And a big 20. I'm not sure about if I can get a 30 out of the 20 foot. I don't. There's some great fish in there. There's some high 20s in there. There's a lot of water to cover. So that'd be a hard target, that one, but we'll still give it a go. And the Sibsey Trader, my favourite, my local drain. Big 20 out of there this year. We had a couple of low 20s out of there last year. Hopefully we'll get some big 20s out of there this year. So that's looking forward, way down the road, looking forward to the next hour or two, and hopefully we'll have a few pike out before the end of the session. Well troops, thanks very much for tuning in and watching the video through to the end. Only the one fish today, I'm afraid, but we had it when I was saying good morning, so maybe we'll have another one when I'm saying goodbye. It's been tough old day, and the mitten crabs are still very active. So made the error, my right hand rod, my paternoster rig, brought it in a little bit too much, just reeled it in there. all that's left is the head, everything else has been eaten. So yeah, the crabs are still very much active. Next time I fish with paternosters up here, I'll have to have them set slightly higher, 3 foot off the deck maybe. That, you know, today they were only like 20 inches off the deck maybe at the most, so yeah, get them up higher. You know, you've got 16-17 foot of water, there's no problem having your baits at 4 foot, you know what I mean, 4 foot off the deck, well away from the crabs. So it's all about building up the hours on a venue when you're hunting down a big fish, especially if you're really after these high 20s and low 30s. They are in here, they are in venues, but you've got to put a hell of a lot of work in, and you know, you've got to do your homework, you've got to get the hours in under your belt. It's all about building up knowledge on a venue. And today we ain't had much joy, but I have had decent fish out here in the past, some beautiful looking pike in here. So it's just a case of putting the hours in. So hopefully it won't be too long before we have that magical 30. But at the moment, thanks for watching, troops, and I'll see you on the bank real soon. Oh, of course, if I catch one, you'll see all the action and you'll see the trophy shot. But yeah, slow pack up. Thanks for watching, troops. Really do appreciate it.